Hey, this is
Very
Carlo
similar.
with 4GQ TV here at the Sunscreen Film Festival in St. Petersburg, and I'm here with
Tiffany Murray.
And Lola, no.
Nice. So I hear that you have a film that's being shown here.
We do. It is Two Lives in Pittsburgh, playing on Sunday at 3:15.
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is?
Yes, it is about a blue collar working class Pittsburgher who is raising a child who is exploring gender. And it's basically sort of imperfect people doing their imperfect best.
So what brought both of you together to make this happen or be involved in the project? Where did it start?
So we had worked on multiple projects together before, and Brian, the writer, director, lead actor, was introduced to us through various ways. We worked with him on a couple different sets, and he started talking about this film he had, and we were like, sure, send me the script. I'd love to, I'm interested in the story. Let's see where it goes. And personally, for me, as soon as I read it, I was like, I don't care what I do in the film. I just have to be involved. I have to make sure that this film gets made.
I had a very similar reaction. I read the script and thought, how do I be a part of this story? How do I be a part of telling this story to the world? Because it just felt like a really important story to tell. And it's from the perspective of the parent as opposed to the perspective of the person transitioning or exploring gender. So we really felt like that was an important story to tell because we hadn't seen many stories like that, and we thought it was so well done and so well written that when we both read the script, we immediately felt like we needed to be part of telling the story. So
Well, you mentioned that it takes place in Pittsburgh, and I'm kind of interested. How was Pittsburgh?
different than I thought it would be. I actually, because we went during the pandemic, and I had hesitations. I did. I had hesitations, and when we got there, it couldn't be lovelier. The people were so welcoming and open and just really generous and wanting to help us. And I really couldn't have asked for a better experience. The people, the town, everything was really a lot better than I had anticipated in the best way. And we really felt welcome and comfortable.
So, from concept to finished product of the project that you guys worked on, how long did the whole thing take?
Are we talking about from writing or
From the
from when
initial
we jumped up?
initial conception, right in through production?
So initial conception, I'm guessing, was about 10 years. 10 years ago. So we were brought on the project officially 5 years ago. And that was pre-COVID. And then we ended up having 2 years of prep. And then 2021 we shot. And then have been doing post and now festival and promotion since June of last year.
Oh wow!
But Brian, the writer, has been working on this project as a passion project for many years before it was brought to us as a completed idea. So he's had the project in his head for, I'm guessing, 10 years. I don't know if that's your guess.
I'm guessing, yeah, it's probably a similar timeline in terms of conception to writing to then a script that's ready to be shot.
Yeah.
So now that we talked about that, I'm curious how both of you got involved in the industry in general. Like, what was your passion to get into the industry? What brought you here? And what kept you in it? Because every day, it's like any other job, right? You got to be passionate about it and keep doing it. So what kept you guys going, and how'd you get started?
Such a good question. I started in the business as an actor. I'm still acting, but I felt like I wanted to have a bit more control and to be able to help tell stories that I thought were important to tell. So I started producing so that I could help tell those stories in more than just as an actor, which doesn't really give you a whole lot of control unless you are the writer of your own project. So that's how I I say stumble because I was brought into a group that was starting to make projects, and they were like, we need a producer for our next project. And I was like, great, I will shadow somebody and and work through this process and get to that place. And they were like, great, our producer just dropped out, you're going to produce, go. And I was like, oh, okay, just push me off the cliff and I will see if I can swim. And I swam because I didn't want to drown. So that's how I got into this business.
For me, it was truly just a love of the camera. Since I can remember, have always wanted to carry a camera with me in whatever form that is, whether it's my phone or when I was a kid, just like a point and shoot. My grandmother gave me my first camera, and it was like the most magical piece of equipment I've ever seen. I went a whole year in high school taking pictures and carrying my camera around school every day as a photography project, and I just fell in love with the idea of telling stories through photography and now videography. For me, when I started in college, I just saw such a beautiful combination of minds when you get on set and you see the art director doing their thing, you see the makeup artist doing their thing, the actors, the writer, the director, like everybody has their own specialty, their own special way that their brain works that makes one film come together. And I think that's like such a magical thing about filmmaking that you don't find in many other industries.
Interesting. And that is a very well in-depth answer. That's like I think the most in-depth answer I ever had, to be honest. With starting with photography. And did you both go to like school or college for this field, or?
I went to school for acting. So, sort of. Just on the other side of the camera.
And I did go to school for film production. Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is the icebreaker question. We never ask it at the front, we ask it at the end. Towards the end, anyway. So, I think Lola knows the question. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Hell yeah. Of course, always.
No. Unless there is a gourmet version that I don't know about, where I can't know because of the gourmetness of the pineapple on the pizza. So I'm leaving it open, but as a general rule from a regular pizza place, 0.
She's wrong.
Can you guess the craziest answer I ever heard?
I have no idea.
I say it's crazy, but apparently it's normal in one part of the Midwest.
Okay.
Sauerkraut.
No.
Sauerkraut on pizza?
Unless you're going full German style, like German influence fusion pizza,
Like,
maybe.
does that include
but
sauerkraut and borscht?
Nope, just sauerkraut.
Just sauerkraut.
Just sauerkraut.
On cheese and marinara.
Yep. You look like you're contemplating trying that now.
You don't like pineapple on pizza, but you like sauerkraut on pizza?
Sauerkraut is sour. It's not sweet. I have an issue with the sweet on the pizza.
But the salty and the sweet balance each other out.
No.
Yes.
They do not.
Absolutely they
No.
do.
I disagree.
Another way to look at it scientifically is, would you eat cheese on fruit?
No.
Yeah. Grapes and white cheddar?
See?
Charcuterie
It's
board?
another scientific
Let's
debate.
go.
Charcuterie board? But you're not eating fruit with cheese
Grapes?
on top of it.
Grapes
You're
and
eating
cheese?
them separately. Your grapes are a
Go.
palate cleanser.
Together.
No.
Yes.
Palate cleanser.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
We inherently disagree.
And this is why it took 3 brains to make any decision on our film.
So, well, I do want to thank you both for your time, but also, can you just give a little shout out on where people can find you guys or your project on the internet, and if you guys have anything else upcoming for your project as well?
Yeah, so we're at Two Lives in Pittsburgh Film on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us at twolivesinpittsburgh.com. Also find us on IMDb. If you see the movie, feel free to give us a review and a shout out. Share it with your friends and family, and look for us on streaming platforms late summer.
Awesome.
Yay!
That sounds awesome. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and enjoy the rest of the festival. And have fun watching Fire Bleeping Fire.
We will.
We will.
And we'll also be watching Help is on the Way.
Help is on the
Yes,
way.
that's
Shout
right.
out.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
guys.
us. All right. There you go.